Greens, Kipper Combs. Sorry if I mispronounced it. My name is Drasiera Carmouche. I'm responding to discussion board 4 on the Asian culture regarding Annie and her sister Sherry. Um, I appreciate your post and the insights that you gave in it. Um, you pointed out a few of the values that was of concern. One was the Sherry is probably looking at it as a face value, we call it off the way they, and maybe the embarrassment that would bring upon them. Whereas with the second one was Annie is suppressing her emotions and trying to be non-confrontational, which is a cultural norm to not be argumentative. And the other one is the obligation that Sherry is kind of presenting at the table that Annie basically owes her. You mentioned that it would be difficult for you to interpret the facts as in when Sherry is bringing this information to you. Uh, that it would kind of be a little complicated here, which I totally agree with you on that. Um, it would be complicated to uh, kind of work around that situation. I did find that where that Asian cultures were more likely to expect a counselor to provide advice and recommend a specific course of action. And I'm wondering if that, and this is from Peterson, I think it's 2016, if that's what the purpose that Sherry would have gone to see a counselor and present this situation. But from a Western culture, her presenting that the situation with Annie, and it's very obvious that it's like a selfishness behind it, and the way she's presenting it. That's what I got out of it. Excuse me if I'm wrong, but the possibility that going to talk to a counselor, she would just automatically assume that a Western counselor um, would not see it in any other way outside of her views, and would just, well, this is what you need to do with your sister type of thing. So I was kind of wondering about that. And at the same time, you mentioned that the difficulty in it, and I agree with you again. Um, but I found that in Ian Jones, this is 2006, I believe, he mentions in his writing, this discernment and sensitivity to the Spirit of God will enable counselors to look at a situation that appeared to be hopeless and help them to extract the precious from the worthless. And I would, this is not worthless in any way, but it would help the counselor to see um, Sherry may need some guidance as well in how to work with her through this situation. But I find that it would be Annie who truly would need some help going through this. And it's also mentioned again in Peterson, 2016, that Asian American families often experience generational differences as later generations internalize Western norms and values more than the parental or grandparents do. And I think that's where Annie kind of falls in, where she's trying to find her, her own self identity and be able to stand for herself. And I think that I see that a lot with a lot of other cultures where the younger generations are starting to want to stand up for themselves when the older generation, that is not how they live. So I applaud you for your post, and I hope that will communicate again somewhere along the line on the discussion board. Thank you for your insight. God bless.